The Galactic Empire was full of high-ranking officials willing to do terrible things. In other words, war criminals. The leaders of the Rebel Alliance were interested in bringing those individuals to justice once the Emperor was dethroned. But to keep Imperial leaders under lock and key, they'd have to find a pretty secure prison to keep them all. And today that's what we'll be talking about. The secret prison of the Rebellion. Sunspot Prison was a space station that closely orbited a star. It was known as the biggest, baddest penitentiary the Alliance had to offer. Its existence was a well-guarded secret to most of the galaxy, including most of the Alliance itself. The front was protected by a sea of ion cannons, and its rear was guarded by the star it orbited. It was the home to Imperial spies, mercenaries, and even a couple Imperial Moffs. Security was high, to say the least, and the Warden's philosophy was to shoot first and ask questions later. One such prisoner was named Kroptar Draven, also known as the Depopulator. He was a member of Imperial Special Forces who was a weapon of terror that would be dropped into enemy villages to kill all inhabitants, both military and civilian. Shortly after the Battle of Yavin, Dr. Aphra was arrested and sent there after working with Darth Vader. She was escorted by Leia Organa and Sana Starros. Coincidentally, a former rebel spy that had grown a little too zealous in the fight against the Empire decided to break into the prison at the same time. His crew made their final approach in spacesuits to avoid detection. They cut into the hole and boarded the station. Their mission was to execute the Imperials that were held there. The agent's name was Ineb Ray, who learned Emperor Palpatine's true identity as a Dark Lord of the Sith. He realized the Rebel Alliance had no idea what they were truly up against, and that the only answer to Palpatine was brutality. He set up firing squads, vented prisoners out of airlocks, and even murdered some face-to-face. He lowered the sun shields and burned some prisoners alive. He was ultimately stopped and captured by Leia, but she regretted not before too many prisoners and guards had been killed. Fearing the station's location was compromised completely, Sunspot Prison's personnel and prisoners were evacuated, and the facility was left to fall into the star it orbited. That decision was fortunate because the prison was discovered and raided by the elite stormtroopers of Scar Squad only days later, who were hoping to free Kroptar Draven, only to find the station abandoned. I hope we eventually get to see some additional stories about Sunspot Prison. I always thought it was a cool idea, and I'm bummed to see it gone so soon. But I guess there's a chance to see the next maximum security prison as well. But that's it for today. What do you guys think of Sunspot Prison? Where do you think the next Rebel jail should be? Let me know in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out my Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.